Hello traders, welcome back to another video. Let's make a full breakdown of the current situation and that we have here in AUDUSD. I'm going to share one potential trade idea for this week. Okay, so first things first, as always, we start analyzing the charts in the monthly time frame. Why? Because this is one of the most important. This is the summary of the previous month from here. Okay, so what we can see also here is very important and significant levels. So we have this one from here, so the 1.70. So as always, we try to use round numbers because those are the very sensitive and very algorithmic numbers. Okay, so then we also have this the 1.73 mark. Okay, so this is the most important monthly levels. So what we can see here is that the previous month it's actually coming from this demand level from here. Okay, but where is the next potential monthly supply level? Near this area from here. And what we can see here is that we have this impulse. This is correction, impulse, correction, impulse. Okay, so and now if we understand fundamentals and we expect a risk of sentiment, that means that IUD is going to be bearish. If the conflict and the tension increase. With that being said, let's see what happened in weekly and other time frames. Okay, so what we can see here is that we have a valid demand supply level. So at the origin of this massive drop, there was an interesting and overpriced area around this level from here. Okay, so that means that we can trigger again some sort of sell limit orders near this area. So this is an area that we have to keep in mind. By other side, if we use trend lines, that I don't really stick to it just in order to have an important idea, we can see that in fact this is an interesting area. Okay, so we have confluences. Now we have multiple factors that are in confluence. First things first, a potential risk of sentiment in the next days or even weeks. Then by other side, we expect some sort of impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, and this can be the correction that can potentially break to the downside. So by other side, I am expecting for the US dollar index to become stronger because we have a risk of sentiment. So it's a safe haven value, and I'm expecting dollar strength in the next weeks or even days. Now that we have this confluence, let's try to use a few EMAs. So in weekly time frame, we actually have a very strong confluence of the 250 EMA. So this is very important to keep in mind because this, and for me, from my personal experience, I can say that those ones are very important EMAs because they are very sensitive. So let's see what happened in daily time frames. So in daily time frame, we actually have a very important 200 EMA around this level. So there is many confluences to keep in mind. Again, we have the trend line, we have the supply, the valid fresh supply area. We also have this retest zone, the trend line, the 200 EMA, and this algorithmic number. So now, if we go to intraday time frames, or what we need to understand here is that many things can happen. First things first, so I'm gonna just hide these 200 EMA, is the fact that right now we are actually testing this level, so there is no confirmation to the downside. So we can eventually continue ranging a little bit, or we can continue with the uptrend structure, intraday uptrend structure. Okay, because right now what happened the last days and even hours is the fact that we actually make some sort of downside momentum to this massive demand level. Okay, so this is some sort of retest impulse, and now we have some sort of impulse accumulation, and we don't know. Now the question here is that there is two possibilities or three possibilities. The first one is that by any reason we continue to the upside, but we have this interesting level. So I'm gonna be looking for interesting sell entries near this area from here, or if the movement is very violent and we just drop because of this accumulation, I'm gonna look for the breakout and the retest. Okay, so this is my point of view concerning IUDUSD. So as always, hope this video was helpful. Let me know in the comment sections what do you think about, and as always, make sure to trade safe.